Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's News Update. In the latest step towards honoring the Munich 11 at the upcoming Olympics, the JTA reports that the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee unanimously passed a resolution urging the International Olympic Committee to hold the moment of silence for the 11 murdered Israeli athletes at the 2012 London Olympics. Resolution 663 was initially introduced in May by New York Democratic Representatives Eliot Engel and Nita Lowey, and calls on the IOC to hold a moment of silence at the upcoming Games and at every future Olympic opening ceremony. The resolution also notes the JCC of Rockland's commemorating the Munich 11 with a sculpture, as well as the fact that the JCC's Maccabi Games have included a memorial tribute to the murdered Israelis at every opening ceremony of the JCC Maccabi Games since 1995. Speaking to Shalom TV, JCC of Rockland CEO David Kirstel responded to the resolution being passed, saying, quote, "We are grateful for the support of Congressman Eliot Engel and Congresswoman Nita Lowey for supporting this resolution. Based on feedback from all around the world, it is time for the International Olympic Committee to remember the Munich 11 at the opening ceremony at the Olympics in London this summer." Resolution 663 says that the moment of silence should be held in recognition of the lives lost in Munich, as well as in an effort to, quote, "reject and repudiate terrorism as antithetical to the Olympic goal of peaceful competition." And staying with the House Foreign Affairs Committee, two representatives from Florida have urged Congress to act on legislation that would enable Holocaust survivors to pursue civil action against insurance companies. Foreign Affairs Chairwoman Republican Representative Ileana Ros-Lehtinen and Democratic Representative Ted Deutsch, who are the co-authors of the Tom Lantos Justice for Holocaust Survivors Act, spoke at a press conference yesterday asking for justice for Holocaust survivors who are now mostly in their 80s and 90s, saying that time is running out. The act would allow Holocaust survivors or their heirs to pursue civil actions in federal courts against insurance companies related to World War II-era insurance policies. In March, the Foreign Affairs Committee unanimously approved the legislation. It now awaits action in the House Judiciary Committee. The House's Human Rights Subcommittee met on Wednesday to address concerns over jailed U.S. citizen Jacob Ostreicher, who was arrested last year in Bolivia after allegations that his business doings were linked to money laundering and drug trafficking. Ostreicher, who's a Hasidic Jew from Brooklyn, has not been charged in the case and has been sitting in a Bolivian jail for almost a year. The hearing was chaired by Republican New Jersey Representative Christopher Smith, who said in his opening statement that the U.S. government, quote, "must do everything we can to correct the ongoing extreme injustice being perpetrated against Mr. Ostreicher and secure his freedom as quickly as possible." Smith said there was no evidence whatsoever of any criminality on Ostreicher's part. Committee members also heard from Ostreicher's wife, Miriam Unger, and his daughter, Chaya Weinberger, who both pleaded for Ostreicher's release by the Bolivian government. The Jerusalem Post reports that the executive director of Christians United for Israel has criticized the White House for meeting with anti-Israel preacher Serge Duss. Christians United CEO David Bragg told the Jerusalem Post that Duss holds views, quote, "very offensive to Jews and Bible-believing Christians," and that Duss claims that Jews have no historical link to the land of Israel. According to the online news outlet Washington Free Beacon, White House visitor logs show that Duss has made at least 4 trips to the White House for several high-level meetings with top administration officials. Christians United for Israel has more than 1 million members and is now the largest pro-Israel group in the United States. Well, apparently Israeli DJ Ofer Nissim did a good job opening for Madonna in Tel Aviv last week, so much so that the pop star invited Nissim to open for her at the next stop on her international tour, Istanbul. The concert took place last night with 55,000 fans packing the Turk Telecom Arena. Despite the last-minute notice, Nissim, who is a veteran of Tel Aviv's club scene, squeezed the world tour into his schedule with enough time to fly back to Israel after the concert last night in order to participate in Tel Aviv's Gay Pride Parade today. With recent tensions between Turkey and Israel, this musical, cultural exchange was a welcome event. And that's Shalom TV's News Update. I'm Teisha Bader.